This show is part of OnePlace, a daily network of focused briefings across the stories people follow most.
Welcome to the Roundup. We have a heavy slate today, from a grim Hollywood murder investigation to royal family drama and the latest health updates from beloved stars. Let's get into the details.
Singer D4VD faces murder charges after a body discovery.
Police arrest David Burke for the death of a teen.
Christina Applegate is hospitalized during her ongoing MS battle.
Victoria Beckham breaks her silence on the Brooklyn feud.
Sarah Ferguson resurfaces at a luxury resort in Austria.
Bryan Cranston tells Shia LaBeouf to seek professional help.
Olivia Rodrigo is spotted with a rumored new boyfriend.
David Haye blames AI absence for his sexist remarks.
Starting with our top story, the music world is in shock following the arrest of David Anthony Burke, better known as the singer D4VD. He was taken into custody at his Hollywood Hills home this past Thursday in connection with a truly horrific case. The investigation centers on the 2024 death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Her body was discovered in a state of decomposition inside Burke's Tesla. The vehicle had been impounded and was sitting at a tow yard when workers noticed a foul odor. It is a chilling turn for an artist whose most famous song is titled Romantic Homicide. Burke is currently being held without bail as the legal process begins to unfold in Los Angeles.
The timeline of this case is particularly disturbing. Celeste was reported missing from her home in Lake Elsinore back in April 2004, but her remains weren't found until September 2005. For over a year, her family was left wondering what happened, while the car containing her body sat in a tow yard after being abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. Burke's legal team, led by high-profile attorneys like Blair Burke, has already released a statement. They are insisting on his innocence and claim that the evidence will show he was not the cause of the young girl's death. However, the details regarding how a teenager ended up in his vehicle remain the central focus for the authorities right now.
Continuing on this case, the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division is leading the charge here, and they have confirmed that the 21-year-old singer was identified as a suspect as early as last November. Initially, a spokesperson for D4VD claimed he was fully cooperating with the police, but later reports suggested that cooperation had ceased. This arrest is the culmination of a months-long forensic investigation. The impact on his career has been immediate and total. His world tour was suspended shortly after the body was found, and the deluxe edition of his debut album, Withered, was shelved indefinitely. The case is expected to be presented to the district attorney's office this coming Monday for formal filing consideration, which will determine the exact charges he faces.
The details from the police report are quite graphic, noting that the victim's remains were found in the front trunk, or frunk, of the Tesla. Even more distressing are the reports that the body had been dismembered and placed inside a bag. Celeste had a history of running away, having been reported missing 3 times in the final year of her life, but her last contact with her family was in May 2024. The fact that she was only 14 years old adds a layer of tragedy that has resonated deeply with the public. As D4VD rose to fame through TikTok and gaming platforms, his young fan base is now grappling with these very serious and dark allegations against him.
Now for a health update. Christina Applegate has reportedly been hospitalized as she continues her brave and very public battle with multiple sclerosis. While the specific reason for this recent medical stay hasn't been disclosed, her representatives noted that she has a long history of complicated conditions. This news follows a brief hiatus of her podcast, Messy, which she co-hosts with Jamie Lynn Sigler. Christina has been incredibly transparent about the realities of MS since her diagnosis in 2021. In her memoir, You with the Sad Eyes, she described how the disease makes her prone to infections that frequently require emergency room visits. She has also spoken candidly about the debilitating exhaustion that feels like a multi-day bender, highlighting the physical toll the autoimmune disease takes on her daily life.
Despite these setbacks, Applegate has become a powerful advocate for the MS community. She often uses her platform to share the unvarnished truth about the tough road she is on, while also expressing gratitude for the support she receives from others living with the condition. Her fans have been sending a wave of support across social media since the news of her hospitalization broke. It is clear that her openness has created a deep bond with her audience, who appreciate her refusal to sugarcoat the experience. Her rep's statement emphasized that she has always been refreshingly open, and while they didn't provide specific details on her current treatment, the hope is that she is receiving the care necessary to manage this latest flare-up or complication.
Next, a family rift. Victoria Beckham has finally broken her 19-month silence regarding the public and painful feud with her eldest son, Brooklyn. In a new interview with the Wall Street Journal, the fashion mogul and former Spice Girl expressed her heartache, though notably, she never once mentioned Brooklyn by name. She insisted that she and David have only ever tried to protect and love their children. This rift became very public after Brooklyn accused his parents of being controlling, and later released a scathing social media statement. He even claimed Victoria hijacked his first dance at his wedding to Nicola Peltz, an allegation that other guests have disputed. Victoria's decision to speak out now suggests a desire to reclaim the narrative while maintaining a level of parental dignity.
The tension between the Beckhams and their eldest son has been a fixture of tabloid news for nearly 2 years. Victoria admitted that being in the public eye for 3 decades requires a lot of adjusting, especially for her own parents who suddenly had paparazzi outside their homes. Despite the personal turmoil, she noted that her beauty and fashion empire remains unaffected by the negative press. It is a complicated situation, as Brooklyn has seemingly cut ties with the family entirely. Victoria's interview was carefully poised, focusing on her role as a mother to her other 3 children, Romeo, Cruz, and Harper, while trying to navigate the public fallout of a family dynamic that has clearly become fractured beyond a simple private resolution.
Moving to royal news, Sarah Ferguson has resurfaced after being out of the public eye for over 7 months. She was spotted at a luxury ski resort in the Austrian Alps, where she is reportedly staying in a suite that costs over $2,000 a night. This appearance is her first since her ex-husband, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, was arrested in February on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The timing is significant, as the royal family continues to deal with the fallout from renewed scrutiny over the Jeffrey Epstein files. Documents released by the Department of Justice earlier this year suggested that Ferguson remained in contact with Epstein longer than she had previously claimed. She appeared low-key in a navy coat and hat, clearly trying to maintain a quiet profile during this turbulent time.
The former Duchess of York has had a difficult year, especially after King Charles stripped her and Andrew of their titles and evicted them from the royal lodge. Sources say she has been keeping an incredibly low profile in the Alps to escape the heat of the ongoing investigations and social snubbing she has faced in the UK. There have been reports that she is struggling with her mental health following Andrew's arrest and the subsequent loss of their royal status. This quiet village in Austria seems to be her sanctuary for now. While she was once a fixture of high society, her current life appears much more isolated as she navigates the legal and social consequences of her family's past associations and the recent actions of her ex-husband.
Now to Hollywood advice. Bryan Cranston had some blunt words for Shia LaBeouf during a recent interview with his former co-star Frankie Muniz. While discussing the 2003 film Holes, a role Muniz turned down and LaBeouf eventually took, Cranston quipped that Muniz could have had Shia's life before looking at the camera and telling Shia to get some help. This comment comes on the heels of LaBeouf's recent arrest in New Orleans following a brawl outside a bar during Mardi Gras. Video footage showed the actor struggling on the ground, while bystanders threatened him. Cranston, now 70, seems to be joining a chorus of industry veterans concerned about LaBeouf's recurring legal issues and public outbursts. It was a moment of tough love from one of the industry's most respected figures.
LaBeouf's history with the law is well documented, including a court-ordered rehab stint in 2017. However, after this latest incident in New Orleans, where he faces charges of simple battery, the actor has publicly rejected the idea of returning to treatment. In a recent interview, he admitted his behavior was bullshit, but claimed he doesn't believe he has a problem with alcohol. This stance is worrying to many, especially given the violent nature of his recent altercation. Cranston's remark highlights the frustration felt by those who have watched LaBeouf's career be overshadowed by his personal struggles. While LaBeouf has credited other celebrities with helping him stay sober in the past, his current refusal to seek help suggests a difficult road ahead for the talented but troubled actor.
Next, a new romance. Olivia Rodrigo appears to have a new man in her life. The pop star was recently spotted on a date in Los Angeles with Cameron Winter, the frontman of the indie band Geese. Eyewitnesses reported that the two were all smiles as they left a restaurant and walked back to their car together. This rumored pairing comes just a few months after Olivia's split from her longtime boyfriend, Louis Partridge, in December. It's believed that Olivia and Cameron first met back in November at Abbey Road Studios while they were both working on a charity album for War Child Records. Fans are already speculating that this new relationship might provide some fresh inspiration for her next musical era, as she seems very happy with her new rock star beau.
The sighting has sent social media into a bit of a frenzy, with fans dissecting every clip and photo of the pair. Cameron Winter's band, Geese, has been gaining traction in the indie scene, making this a bit of a cool, alternative power couple. Olivia has always been known for her deeply personal songwriting, often centered around her romantic life, so her followers are naturally curious about how this new chapter will influence her work. After the heartbreak themes of her previous albums, seeing her grinning and enjoying a night out in LA is a welcome change for her supporters. Whether this is a serious relationship or just a casual new flame, Olivia certainly seems to be moving on and enjoying the Los Angeles dating scene.
Finally, a strange excuse. Former boxing champion David Haye has found himself in hot water after making sexist remarks on the show I'm a Celebrity, All Stars. During a recent episode, Haye bragged about dating a woman with the personality of a proper ugly bird, explaining that less attractive women have better banter to compensate for their looks. The comments horrified his campmates, including Scarlett Moffatt and Ashley Roberts. In a bizarre defense, sources close to Haye claim he made the remarks because he didn't have access to artificial intelligence in the jungle. Apparently, Haye has become reliant on AI to fact-check his speeches and social media posts to ensure they aren't offensive. Without his comfort blanket of technology, he allegedly lacked the filter needed to realize how his comments would be received.
The excuse has been met with a fair amount of skepticism and ridicule. Critics argue that one shouldn't need a computer program to understand that disparaging women's appearances is offensive. Scarlett Moffatt has already indicated that she hasn't kept in touch with Haye since the show ended, despite him being the one who started their cast WhatsApp group. While Haye's team insists there was no malice behind the remarks and that he was simply focused on the game and survival, the backlash from viewers has been significant. It raises interesting questions about our growing reliance on technology for social navigation. But in this case, it seems like a very modern excuse for a very old-fashioned type of insensitive behavior that didn't sit well with his audience.
That wraps up our daily briefing. For more updates on these stories and the latest in entertainment news, make sure to follow us for our next episode. We will see you tomorrow.